Just recently, Arthur Hayes predicted Bitcoin could drop to $70,000, which is a 36% correction from $110,000 all-time high. And he's saying this is very normal for a bull market. Then we need stonks, the SPX and the NDX, to enter free fall. Then we need TradeFi Muppets to go under. Then we get Fed, PCOB, ECB, and BOJ all easing and printing money to make their country great again. Then you load up the truck. Traders will try to buy the dip. If you are more risk adverse, wait for the central banks to ease, then deploy more capital. You might not catch the bottom, but you also won't have to mentally suffer through a long period of sideways and potential unrealized losses. So as you guys already know, Arthur Hayes is the CEO of BitMEX, the exchange, and he was reported to be the youngest African-American crypto billionaire in history. Now, will he be right about Bitcoin going to 70K? We'll see, but I think it's important that you know this. If we bring up the Bitcoin price chart on the right-hand side of the screen and roughly how far we are into this bull market cycle over 840 days, if we were to look back to the bear market bottom back in 2015, 840 days into that bull run cycle, what happened along the way were these massive pullbacks in the market. For example, just to give you guys who are new this bull run cycle to crypto and you're wondering what's going on, why is your portfolio down so much if you bought Bitcoin above $100,000 or any altcoins? Well, here's some perspective for you on what happened this bull run cycle. This is when I got involved in crypto, was the 2016-2017 bull run. And after that bear market bottom was in, all the way down here, when Bitcoin was at around $100 and finding its low roughly around $200, the first major sell-off was like 37% out of that bear market low. And once we broke out from $300, we rallied all the way up to 500. We pulled back another 40%. We rallied back up again, then pulled back 25%. We broke that range to $800, then pulled back 38%. Then once we broke $800, we rallied all the way up to 1,000, nearly 200, then pulled back another 36%, and so on and so forth. And you guys can see every single rally to a new range was followed by a steep pullback of 30 to 40%. This pullback right here by March of 2017 was 35%. We break all the way upwards of $3,000, and we pull back 41%. Break out again to new range, $5,000. Pull all the way back to back test the previous high as support, another 40% pullback. We do it time and time again. Then we break upwards of $8,000, pull back another 30%. Then we break out to the all-time high. And once the bull market was over, then we pull back over 80% all the way to a bear market bottom. So the real question is that people want to know is, have we reached the top for this bull run cycle? And are we just going to go into a bear market from here on out? Or are we just going through one of these correction periods that you've seen multiple times in the past for 30 to 40% corrections? Because looking at the chart right now, on the right-hand side of the screen, it's looking very similar to 2016-2017's bull run. For example, you can see when the bear market bottom was in all the way back here in November of 2022, we broke out upwards of $25,000, pull back 23%, breakout to $30,000, pull back 20%. Then we consolidate within this range for a while, see another 20% pullback, breakout again upwards of 50K, pull back 21%. So with these pullbacks, they're actually less than what we saw in 2016, because 2016 had a lot of 30 to 40% pullbacks. The pullback between March to August of 2024 was only 32%. It was just a longer consolidation period before the next breakout to a new range. That's why people are feeling more fear. It's not necessarily the percentage of the pullback, because this pullback right now for Bitcoin is only about 30%. So for us to go to $70,000 for Bitcoin and drop another 13,000, it wouldn't be that abnormal, because like I just showed you, we've seen that happen in the past. The frustrating part about this market cycle is how much longer these pullbacks are taking, because back in 2016, some of the longer sell-offs and consolidations lasted, this one about 168 days. This one right here was about 188 days. And this market cycle, the most recent one, was 241 days. And currently, we're about 86 days into this consolidation period. So this is going to take a little time to play out, and I want you to pay close attention to this video, because I'm going to share with you some important data for what the charts are showing and key indicators are showing for where we are in this macro market cycle. Because if we were to just zoom out on the weekly chart for Bitcoin here and take the 2015 bottom to the 2017 high, that market cycle, and put it up to the bear market low to where we're at right now, we're right along schedule in this market cycle, even with this most recent pullback right here, mirroring what happened back in February of 2017. It's also lining up with the Bitcoin meter right here for this little pink phase in the market cycle before we go to light green for the next major move in the market. And as you guys saw me talk about in my previous video yesterday, if you haven't seen that, I uploaded about 21 hours ago, I brought up all of these key indicators here, showing you guys everything that you need to know about past market cycles and when we have been overvalued or oversold based on where we're currently at right now. So just based on the Bitcoin meter right here, it's showing that we're roughly in the market cycle where we were right here where I'm circling on the chart the last few cycles. So this pullback, not out of the ordinary, completely normal. It's just annoying. That's the word that I would give it. Because this type of stuff seems to happen on the price charts when the most bullish news is taking place from a fundamental perspective. For example, it seems contradictory that all these bills are pushing forward to adopt, Bitcoin in America with Donald Trump bullish on Bitcoin, a new SEC chair. The list goes on and on and on, but yet price action is performing poorly. For example, listen to this.
I'm so pleased to announce that today I will be reintroducing the Bitcoin Act. And I'll be joined here shortly by Senator Justice of West Virginia, who is one of the co-sponsors. And we have several other additional co-sponsors. And a lot of it is a result of the excitement that's been building.
So this is why we pay attention to charts, not what everyone's saying, but what the charts are actually showing. Because if we look at the Bitcoin stock to flow model that shows the days until the next halving, if we zoom into where we are right now, we are well below the stock to flow line where it shows $280,000 as we're transitioning from orange to yellow in terms of the days until the next halving. And if we look at the last market cycle, when we were transitioning from orange to yellow, we were well above the stock to flow line, sitting at like $40,000 to $50,000 when the model line was at $27,000. Whereas if we look at the 2016 to 2017 run, we were below the stock to flow line, all the way down here at like $900 to $1,000 when the model price was showing $1,800. So this bull run cycle arguably could be more comparable to 2016, 2017. And I've shown this so many times in previous videos where we didn't reach the market cycle peak until we achieved light green, which was roughly 800 days until the next halving. Even the last bull run cycle, we reached the peak at light green as well too. So currently right now, we're not only well below the stock to flow line by a good chunk, $280,000 versus 80K is a big difference, but we are not anywhere close to 800 days until the next halving. So that's arguably going to be coming in towards quarter 4 of this year by like October, November of 2025. And if you guys watched the video that I covered yesterday, every single indicator on the chart are all showing the same thing. So that's ultimate confluence just based on the charts. It's not opinion. It's just the fact. US inflation is crashing. So is Trump's master plan working? He is trying to force the Fed to cut rates. Once that happens, could we see stocks, Bitcoin, crypto, and the rest of the altcoin market explode? Well, pretty soon the data is going to come in for February because inflation has been ticking up since October of 2024 to about 3% in January. Whereas right here on truthful data for a transparent economy, we can see that the US inflation index is showing 1.35% below the Fed's target. So February looks like it is about 2%. So this data right here from tradingeconomics.com is a lagging because it only has January's data. So if this is accurate, then this could be very, very good news for the crypto market.